Velocity TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing out of turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked up a turn number 4. Who's it gonna be?
And good evening, race fans. Welcome in live to the Full Velocity Racing Network. And we are live tonight inside, they call the North Carolina Motor Speedway, better known to all of us as a Rockingham Speedway here tonight. And great night to come out here with the Adrenaline Rush Racing League. And it comes to you live via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Good evening, everybody. Phil Lacasse is here. Jack Chewin's in the house. And I even think our buddy Jeff McConey is staggering his way toward the broadcast booth as well as we move to week number 2. A terrific race last week. What a way to start a league. Come out with a caution-free race at Homestead. And this week we move in to this awesome 1 mile Rockingham Speedway where we got 13 trucks on hand, 147 laps around. So before we go racing here tonight, let's go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
right, back here live in the Full Velocity Racing Network. A little behind is we're trying to get my partner, Mr. McConey, see if he can't make his way into Rockingham, but we got our 13 trucks ready to go. Quick look at the starting lineup here tonight. GT Irizarry on the pole with the number 4 trucks, 23.615, with Kevin Gladrich alongside in the number 9. Craig Burns will start third in the number 2, with the 92 of Keith Bradley next to him. In our third row, Robert Nestor will be in the number 11. Chad Biesinger will start 6th aboard the number 23 truck. Adam Lighty with the 46 will start in 7th, with Wade Fields in the number 3 to the upside of our number 4. In row 5, we find Ryan Ezel in the number 88 truck. And 3 goes out. Richard Gonzalez in the number 6. David Edwards in the 15. Matt Oprix, number 16. And Michael Sheffield from Sheffield Graphics in the number 1, starting 13th tonight. So we're going 147 laps around, and we'll call all the action here the best we can. First time for me and iRacing, anyways, out to Rockingham, and it's going to be a good time. I've always been a fan of the racetrack, and kind of wish NASCAR would rethink going back here one day. Who knows, new scheduling stuff, maybe they do. But either way, let's take a look around as we put now 2 laps on the board. And GT Irizarry going to lead the way down the back chute and headed toward turn number 3 as I'm working on my cameras and trying to work on getting our buddy Jeff involved with us here tonight, as we were kind of all late into the party.
Yeah, unfortunately, last week my computer decided, I decided I'm going to download Far Cry 4. You know, it's a 5-year-old game. And my computer said, yeah, good luck with that. And it crashed my entire operating system. So then I went to join this, and I was like, oh, great, I don't have TeamSpeak installed. So I had to go through and jump all through and do that. And now I can't do it because iRacing is a fantastic product, and I'm glad I pay over $100 a year to have a membership.
Oh, yeah, burn. I agree. So we'll see if we can get Jeff kind of in, but it may be kind of hard. But either way, we'll try to do what we can here to get Jeff into the conversation. He wants to hang out and just bounce some ideas off, and we watch through the delayed stream here, so try to poke it out for Discord. We'll try to do that too. We'll wait and see. As we put 4 laps on the board of 147, GT Irizarry leads the way. Put the 2 truck of Craig Burns now up to 2nd as he is around the 9 of Kevin Gladrich. And Kevin was really good last week at Homestead. I believe he finished 2nd to the eventual race winner, Hermie Sadler. Unfortunately, Hermie not here tonight. Won the opening race, so we are guaranteed a new winner. This all-new league, all-new series, the Adrenaline Rush Racing League, going to be here every Monday night, and we'll be here every week. For the duration of all 12 races this week, number 2, be live Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the Full Velocity Racing Network. So we'll see some good racing, I'm sure. Knowing a lot of these guys the way we do, knowing Mike's pride in the league that he's taking, putting this one together, we're going to see a lot of good racing. I'll guarantee it. These guys have a ton of respect for one another. And the mantra here is to come in and run a very clean league and clean racing, a lot of green flag laps, and we like that too. That makes for good racing, a good night, some good dialogue to talk about. GT Irizarry will lead the way. It's Rockingham, Jeff, a track that I have no laps on here in iRacing, obviously. My first track out here, if I think back to Rockingham of yesteryear, this place is a tire eater. I got to imagine the simulation of iRacing is probably more of the same.
That it definitely is. The only laps I've ever turned here were in a super late model. I built a super late model setup. And surprisingly, that one was actually built off of my Bristol setup. So that sort of gives an idea of how this track handles. You've got the really steeply banked turns. It was a Bristol setup with a different gear ratio and a few minor tweaks here and there. But other than that, that's what this track really reminded me of. It's a high-speed Bristol. And it's a difficult place to get around. So to do it in a truck is quite the tall task. 147 laps here is not going to be easy for these drivers.
I'm going to tell you what. I would never have thought to think of it a Bristol. Let's see if we can get Jeff to stream there. He can watch along after what we're putting out. Hopefully, he got it from Jack.
I'm watching through Facebook at the moment, so I can know what's going on. I just can't call the action in real time.
Oh, that's good. That's perfect. After you missed last night, we had a great race last night. We were at the Cyber Thunder Racing League late last night. Did a benefit race for the Jade Bell and his family at Talladega, and we had Todd with us, and I don't even know the best way to say it. It was kind of like this, and you really couldn't hear him. And yeah, it wasn't good. The guy blew his voice out the other night at the racetrack. So we're letting him rest up tonight because I need Todd for the rest of the week. We got a lot of shows to do next couple of days. So glad Jeff on spot duty, beating off the Sandman here for a little bit. So you got to wake up early for work. So we appreciate you coming in and hanging out and calling some racing action. I said, well, I'm inviting you, hoping you're going to come out here and do some Mondays here with us. This series, the first week, great racing. Caution for you, Homestead. I'm expecting nothing different here tonight. And so far, through the first 12 laps on a racetrack that's not the easiest to get around by any stretch of the imagination. So far, so good. Everybody's got their truck under control.
That they do. They're doing a great job maintaining control of their trucks. And like you mentioned before, the tires here can certainly fall off quite a bit. And you really have to be careful. When these trucks sort of fall off over time, it almost feels like you're sort of falling off a cliff. It's not a gradual descent at times. It can be just straight off the cliff.
I can imagine so. Like I said, I did a lot of my racing at Rockingham back in, NR3, go back to like NR1. And Rockingham was always a big tire eater, but, it was one of the original tracks we had back in the day. So I think I had more laps here, early on in my sim racing career. Probably about 1 billion before I even started racing online. So always a track that'll be fun and favorite to me, and it's a cool surface and always makes a good vibe. And so one of these tracks I hope that the NASCAR circles will revisit one day, or some series will go back to it. It's good to see ARCA there for a couple of years. So it's a great track, a great feel, kind of gives you that old school type of vibe. And we had a good race going on over here for the second spot now with the 9 truck of Gladricit. She has chased down that tag number 2 of Craig Burns, and Kevin will go to the inside. He'll make the move on a 3 and 4. Craig's not going to put too much of a fight, but knowing tires are going to be an issue. We're only 16 laps in. You got to imagine way too early to race the racetrack and race for competition. You probably going to see these things for a while.
You're right. This race is going to be a decent bit of racing against yourself. These trucks, when the tires fall off, like I mentioned, it's like you're falling straight off a cliff. If you're fast at the beginning, man, you better be careful, because the faster you are, the more you eat up those tires. You have to find a good balance. You saw the 2 car there, just pull up to the top. He got out of the way. He's not going to fight and use up his tires here early on in the race. We're 15 or so laps into the event. You just got to be careful, and you got to be smart. You're seeing he's fielding off the 92. He's in a battle with him. Now he's just really not going to put up too much of a fight. You move over, you give the guy his preferred line, let him by. It's not about where you start the race, it's all about where you finish.
You are exactly right. It's a long season, the points-paying season. And we would say we're only early on. 2 races of 10 in. You got races like Charlotte next week. They move to Concord 2 weeks from tonight. 300 laps in Concord, I believe, the distance. So that'll be quite the race. I know Wilkesboro's on the schedule, not too far away. So we will see a lot of different racetracks and a lot of different disciplines of racetracks for sure. So it'll be a good time to follow. And good run happening here early on, still very early. 18 laps complete. GT Irizarry leads, and you look at the interval. Well, he's got 2.8 seconds on Gladricit, who is, in his own right, really quick, but almost 3 seconds over 20 laps. That Ford truck is cruising. I almost wonder if he's pushing it too hard this early.
Yeah, you have to wonder if he's pushing it too hard. Irizarry, I've seen him race before. I've seen him before on iRacing. He's a smart driver, though. I've got a good feeling he's just pacing himself. He's being smart. I believe off the top of my head it was in an Xfinity car at Charlotte. Another difficult course, another difficult car to drive. So he managed his tires well there. I remember correctly, this was about a month ago, but I think he finished 4th in that race. So Irizarry, I got a good feeling he knows how to take care of his stuff here in this meeting.
Absolutely right. We saw him a few weeks ago on Championship Night at Cyber Thunder. He was part of that final 3 and, had a good car, led a lot of laps, and the car faded away late, hit the wall late, and gave away the eventual series championship to Tom Ricker. That was a good time there. We'll see more of the Cyber Thunder group over here in the next couple of weeks as well. FullVelocityTV.com is where you find our full event schedule there, but we now put 20 laps complete, 21 as they flash on by, and I'm watching this Ford truck continuing to pull away. Now the advantage is 3.5 back to Gladricit to the 9 truck. Keith Bradley having a good start to the 92 truck at NOS Energy Machine. He'll ride back in third. He trails by 4.1 seconds, 4.3 back to Robert Esther, who rides in 4th. In our early second place runner, the 2 truck of Craig Burns. Well, he's backslid to 5th, but he's backslid almost 7 full seconds behind our race leader. You're seeing the leader pulling away, but a lot of these other trucks don't say 6th on back. You got intervals there, Jeff, 7, 8, sometimes for 10 seconds. They're really falling off. You got to imagine the Ford truck running as hard as he is. He's got to eventually fall off the cliff. doesn't he? Maybe not.
If you can make those tires last for the entire fuel run, man, you can really be surprised at how much of the tire will still be remaining. And he doesn't need to push the car anymore now. He's out there, he's out front, and he's quick. He's probably using the strategy of push hard for the first 5-10 laps, get a good, comfortable gap, 2-3 seconds, and then just cruise. You don't need to do anything crazy. You can really even take it easier than the guy in second and third or fourth right now if you're out there in the lead, because who's fighting with you? You don't have anyone on your back home. You're not worried about anything. You're just cruising right now, and you can take care of your tires surprisingly well in the lead.
You certainly can. He's not having to hustle right now, and we're going to lap the truck up ahead of him. Looks like Matt Oprick in those 16s a little bit off, so he may put him a lap down, but GT Irizarry continuing to motor on through as we put 25 laps complete. And if I could make a call to Jack for maybe a Sheffield Graphics onboard look, well, I want to go on board the 46 of Adam Lady. And Adam put 100 stars out there in the Facebook Live chat, so we're going to thank Adam for that. The stars do a great thing, but that 46 truck is great. Look at the FERN logo on there. Looks great all around that truck. Adam Lady has put himself now into the top 5, running 5th. 8.5 seconds off the race leader. Want to make sure he got some love, and of course Sheffield Graphics, our official onboard sponsor. When you look at Sheffield himself, Mr. Mike Sheffield, he started shotgun in the 1 truck, and he runs a very good 7th. The truck looks really good. I just can't believe the speed that 4 truck's got. Golly, almost 5 seconds over a guy like Gladricic, who we saw go toe-to-toe last week and lead a bunch of laps in a really good truck, and Herbie Sadler, who won that race. But Gladricic, now 5 seconds even off GT Irizarry. I'm stunned how much faster that 4 truck is. I'm completely flabbergasted. And I got to imagine, if he can make that thing last a fuel run, wow, I don't know. I've got some stock I want to sell you.
Yeah, it's impressive. This is really impressive how well he's running right now. And not only is he maintaining that lead, he's growing it. He's pulling away from the rest of the field. Man, he doesn't have a care in the world. He's just out there cruising.
He just kind of is going at his business. He's driving away and doing a good job of it. So still early on now. 29 of 147 on the board. Is watching some little comers and goers here early. The biggest gainer of the night, well, is that number 1 truck. Michael Sheffield has come from 13th now up to 6th. I'd say the biggest fall of the night, if you can even call it a fall, looks like 3rd to 9th with 2 of Craig Burns at Tide Ride. He was up there running 2nd for a while. It looks like he may have pushed himself too hard. Runs back number 9, 12.7 seconds off, and maybe he's losing 9th to 6 of Richard Gonzalez, who's going to make his way around as well. So got some different things happening here in Rockingham. Still even 1/3 of the way home yet. 30 laps going on the board. Drivers going out there qualifying. The pole was 23.615. Last time by for GP, by far and away the fastest truck out here, 25.066. That's almost a second and a half off in 30 laps. I got to imagine they run 30 more. We're probably looking at close to 26 flat is going to be my guess.
Yeah, that is a definite possibility here. So now the next question that I have is, you were calling these races last week, and you said it ran green from flag to flag. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, anything else, to make sure that still happens. Here's the one, the 46 got very close together right there a couple seconds ago. That's about the closest battle we have here on track. But what do you do to pass the time here when they go flag to flag?
Well, you just let the race stretch out. You find these good battles. It allows you, instead of calling races for the league like you do so much, you go back here, you talk about these races back here for 9th, like between or for 5th, like Michael and Adam are having, or right even behind them. The 15 of David Edwards having a good race for Chad Beesing on the number 23. Those trucks are right together. They run back here in 7th and 8th. So that's what we do here in a long green flag run. But what else we can do? If I'm out there and I'm racing, I want to be competitive, and I need a really good setup. Do you know how I can find one?
Oh, I do know where you can find a really good setup. You can head on over to www.McConeySetupShop.com or our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/McConeySetupShop, and you can get setups for any asphalt oval. You can also get driver coaching done. If you are looking for late model setups, we actually just brought on the great Bill Gross. He does a fantastic job. He's ranked 9th overall in the late models. Absolutely phenomenal driver. Professional cycling coach in real life, and then over here on the sim side, He is one of our coaches now. So any late model questions that you've got, we now have, dare I say, some of the best late model setups on iRacing every single week. You can finish out the rest of the season for just $27.50. We also got qualifying setups now for sale for just $2.50. So you can get the entire half season, $40 for all the setups for the late models, race trim and qualifying trim. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. We also do weekly setups for the Legends, late models, super late models, SK modifieds, and Tour modifieds, so we can tune on any asphalt oval car. We have a absolutely phenomenal VRS, not VRS setup, an absolutely phenomenal Road to Pro setup, and it is about 3 times quicker on the long run than the VRS setup, is from what I was told. So I built it, I ran it, and people were saying it was 3 times faster than VRS, so there you go.
So driver coaching, does that mean you can teach me how to exit the pit lane safely?
I can absolutely do that, and that's available for just $20 an hour plus a $2 session fee. If you host a session and I just have to join, it's easy. Doesn't get any simpler than that. It's just $20 an hour.
He can't afford that.
It's going to be billed.
It'd be like $3,000 to teach him anything.
Get me out of pit road, I would probably need the whole hour, and that's on one track. Go to the next track and we'll start all over again.
You know what? Just a couple more hours, and there you go.
And may even, after about 6 weeks, be able to make one lap. That'd be amazing. Maybe I wouldn't finish last every race I go to, which isn't much, but we'll leave it there. But we had to let you plug.
We actually had a blind customer, and he turned down laps faster than what I could run. So.
Blind customer?
No, I'm making that up. I'm completely making that up. But wouldn't that be something?
Oh. Never say never, buddy. Never say never. We may make that happen for you one of these days. If I ever get the gumption, I want to become a driver in iRacing again. Nah, sure. We stay pretty busy doing this. But the itch ever comes, you're the first guy I'm looking up to figure out how to go. And I'd probably jump behind the tour mod. That's just kind of where I come from. Either way, let's recap where we're at now. 40 laps going to go complete, 147. So approaching that 1/3 of the way home mark. And we've got some pit stops being had. Yeah, we had. I saw Wade Fields on the pit lane. Adam Lighty come in the 46. He was in the top 6. He's been down on pit road. Craig Burns, I'm not surprised here. He had burned his stuff up. The 2 had come to pit road. Now we look to the front. GT Irizarry's lead. Well, it was about 4 or 5 seconds when we last checked. As we complete the 41st lap around here at Rockingham. 7.930. We'll see if that grows here this current lap. He is just wearing these guys out on a Sunday drive on a Monday night. GT is that lead grew to 8.2 over Glad Rasich. And now Keith Bradley back there in 3rd. Michael Sheffield, he's crawled to the 4th spot. But those guys yet to come to the pit lane as we get changed for 3rd. Mike Sheffield on the inside of Keith Bradley. So Mike Sheffield from the back now running in 3rd. That's a great ride, the first 1/3 of this race.
It certainly is great to go from the back to the front. You love to see it, especially if you're the driver that's pulling it off. And that's a pretty smart strategy. You push hard at the beginning, you get all those spots, you sort of suffer through this first run where you're wearing through the tires. After the first pit stop now, you're still going to have all those track positions, and you can just hold on now for the ride and maintain those tires. That's a really good strategy. Push hard right at the start of the race, suffer through this first stint on tires, then you'll be all set for the rest of the run. You got all that track position that you needed.
Jack, you got to do me a favor. You got to go on Sheffield's truck, and you got to show the left rear quarter panel. I'm such a fan. I really am, and you'll see why when you get there. Makes me kind of thirsty. Cool vibe.
Is it White Claw?
It is not White Claw.
It's Fireball.
It's got Fireball in the left rear, and that is how you make a car go and truck go fast. You dump some Fireball in it, you will feel good all night long. And Mr. Sheffield doing a heck of a job right now. And we just saw what new tires look like. Is Craig Burns just went motoring on around him. We look at the lap times. Last time by for the 2 truck, we just came out of pit road a few laps ago. Put a 25.522 down. You compare that to race leader GT Irizarry, it was 25.717, so half a second. And GT's been quick, but that just shows even the exit lap on new tires, you're gonna make up some time.
You're right, and short pitting here is probably the way to go, because the longer you stay out on those old tires, the slower you're going to be. You're over a second off the pace. You see these cars are just getting blown right by. You have to come down and pit. As soon as the first guy comes in, that's when everyone else needs to join suit.
Absolutely right. Gonna say hey to Brad Disbro for watching tonight on Facebook live stream. Hope Brad's doing well. He's rooting on the 92. Where are you from, Brad? We seen you check in here last week. Tell us where you're watching from. We appreciate your support for coming out and hanging out for a Monday night. Not sure what else was there to do on a Monday. Sounds like a good night to go out and watch some sim racing, and a good one here so far at Rockingham. Still under green, now 47 laps. We're getting 100 laps remaining. GT Irizarry, the interval continues to grow and grow. It's now up to 10.279. Over 10 seconds. That's a full lap here at Rockingham. That's amazing.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal drive here for Irizarry. Now you see the onboard as well. You just look at how steady the wheel is. He's not pushing the car at all. He gets in. Our producer is saying how steep it is. He's absolutely right, but you just look at this, and he is so smooth on the wheel. He's straight down the straightaway. Doesn't force the car to go one direction or the other. Doesn't overdrive it. He lets the car drive itself, and that is the key to taking care of your tires. Don't be afraid. If you're looking to take care of your tires, don't be afraid to spend some time off throttle and off brake. You just let the car coast. iRacing does calculate how much heat is built up in the brakes when you stand on them, when you use them every single lap. It's calculating how much heat is there, and it's heating up your tires just as much. So you have to keep that in mind as you're trying to save your tires and everything else. Don't be afraid to coast the car, and I think that's what the key is here, that he's doing so well, is he's spending a lot of time off the brake, off the throttle, just cruising on through the corners. Slow is fast at these tracks when you're taking care of your stuff.
Slow is fast, but I've been told slow is slow. Usually when I'm slow, I'm really slow. So GT's doing it better.
Turn right to go left.
Slow's never been fast for me, ever.
And turn right to go left. We've put that to a test, especially on the dirt a few times. And then Jeff, I turned right to go left, and guess what? The car went right, and I could never figure it out. And one of those things I don't think I'll ever learn.
You've got to watch cars then. You have to watch the movie Cars. So
I've watched Cars backwards, forwards, can probably reset every line. But my kids aren't too far from your age, but we've been there. You know that. It was really bad. I was sitting at dinner tonight singing Barney tunes. Anyway, I don't know where it come from, but I was like, this is terrible. And nobody around me could finish the song, which I'm like, I must have raised too many kids. So either way, Brad Disbro checking in from Aurora, Indiana. It's got to be somewhere near y'all's woods.
Let's see. Let me ask Professor Google real quick.
Aurora, Indiana. Now, Aurora was Waynesville, Indiana, or Illinois? I know they were in Chicago, but I mean, Indiana's not too far from the Chicago market.
Well, yeah, Indiana. Well, Purdue is about 2.5, 3 hours from Chicago. It's 2 hours 42 minutes to Aurora, Indiana. So a bit of a jaunt,
Not bad. Well,
yeah,
glad
a little
Brad's
bit of a jaunt.
checking in, and Aurora, Indiana. Said
He better not be an IU guy. He better not be an IU guy.
Brad,
He's a smarter man.
Are you a Boilermaker or you a Hoosier? I got two Indiana guys with me. I need to know. It's a heated debate here. Every week we all get together. So thanks for checking in, Brad. We'll play along. We'll have some fun.
I just
We like
need
to have
Jeff's
fun here.
address.
10.
Oh, okay.
Well,
you know what? I'll text it to you after the race. How about that?
Lawrenceburg is his home dirt track. Awesome.
Go Duke. Go. What is
Duke.
this guy?
I'm a Tar Heel. Wow, we can't mesh on that one. Holy smokes. Go Duke. They told me once upon a time, friends don't let friends go to Duke. But either way, we don't judge. Not at all. Thank you for chiming in, Brad. We'll have some fun. We play along. And we look down, and there's only 4 trucks left in the lead lap. Only 4. And I don't know if they've all come to pit road yet. Let's see who the 6th truck is. I think Richard Gonzalez did surrender his way. Yeah, he just come on pit road. So only 3 in the lead lap. GT Irizarry leads the way. He's got 12 seconds over Kevin Gladricic. He's second. Keith Bradley, he's still out there motoring laps now, 58 laps old. He currently runs back in third with 12.77 seconds off the pace. Richard Gonzalez that just came to pit road. I believe that's going to put the 46 Adam Lighty up now to the 4th spot. Yes, it will. I believe Robert Nestor should move up to 5th in the 11, waiting on the trucks to all sprinkle on by. They're all stretched out. The intervals are big. Few trucks in the lead lap. Now you wonder, are all these guys down and they've come in and they made a stop and they got better tires? How much can these top 3 afford to stay out there? Maybe not so much the leader, because he's kind of dictating his own pace, but guys like Kevin and Keith running 2nd and 3rd, they got to be keeping an eye on those guys behind him and how that interval may be shrinking now with those new tires on.
I think everyone right now is just playing a game of catch-up, trying to keep pace with Irizarry. He sort of is so far ahead right now, he dictates what he wants to do. And whatever he wants to do is what the rest of the field has to play off of. They thought the strategy would be pit early, make him come to pit road and sort of force him to play your game. That's just not going to happen. He's out there in a league of his own. Everyone is going to be focusing on what he's doing. And if you're still out there, I would try and copy his strategy and keep pace with him. That's going to be your only chance, is to try and match his strategy. Because I don't think anyone's going to beat him on speed.
I don't know either. As I'm watching them, hearing them communication to Ford truck. I don't know if he's starting to think about coming to the pit lane, but a race for second has ensued. We're side by side for second to 3 and 4. Keith Bradley in the 92 to the left side, and Kevin Gladner 6 to number 9. They go wheel to wheel, door to door out of 4, and give the second spot to Keith Bradley, who I don't think Kevin's going to put too much of a terrible fight up there. He doesn't. Rolls on him in the outside lane. Keith Bradley now number 2 man, that NOS Energy 92. So is it him that could maybe make something happen? He said he trails GT Irizarry 13.8 seconds. The interval last time by, and the Ford truck flashes on past through. The second and third place trucks, they also do. So they are on a long green flag run. They're the only trucks who have not yet to pit and still shy of halfway. 62 on the board. So let's say half of 147. Call that 73, 74-ish.
Yeah.
We're about 10, we're about 10,
25.
12 laps away from halfway. At this point, not inconceivable for these top 3 to maybe make it all the way on fuel. They may make this a one-stop race versus everybody else. They may be on at least 2.
Yeah, if he can make it to lap 74, he will be able to run it out. 74 is going to be the halfway point because it's 147 completed laps. So when he's on lap 74, that will be the true halfway point of the race. I think if he can make it there, and I think he will, if that's if he's still out here, I imagine his strategy is going to be make it to halfway. Otherwise, he would have pitted early and probably broken the race up into 3 pit stops or 2 pit stops. Broken it up into 2 pit stops, which would involve pitting at a third of the way through the race, which would be about lap 49 on the dot. So just being smart out here, strategy side of me, the crew chief side of me says he's going to try and hit right at halfway, and I think he's going to make it.
So what you're telling me is my math was kind of on point.
Yes, it was. It was very accurate.
Oh,
As far as I know, we could both be wrong, and that's why we're up here in the booth. But I think we're right.
I think so too, although I'm riding with the 9 truck, and I'm watching him just get run over by guys with new tires on. I saw Mike Sheffield go running on by, Ricky Gonzalez went by, Craig Burns snuck on by, Robert Nestor went by. I mean, these guys at old tires right now, they are just dogs compared to what the lead lap cars are going. I look back here now, let's take a look at the 46 truck who has unlapped himself. Adam Lighty's put himself back to the lead lap. He turned a 25.244 last time by. 25.244. GT Irizarry on 68 lap old tires. 25.612. It's just amazing how fast that truck still is. It's like the tires are affecting that truck a little bit, but well, a lot. It slowed down close to 2 seconds in qualifying, but my goodness, I just can't believe the guys that came on pit road. It's already equaling off kind of that quick.
That it is, and so they've sort of thrown it away here, and making that extra pit stop is going to kill so much time. If you think about it, they're eliminating an entire pit stop from their race. That's easily going to beat out the guys that are pitting twice, even with the amount of tire fall off. As long as Irizarry can make it to halfway, they'll be fine.
little bit better on the lap times. I believe the fastest truck on the racetrack, and maybe that number 1 of Michael Sheffield, last time by, a little bit better here for guys who put out at the same time, 24.507. So that's in the ballpark of the lap times I'm expecting to see. 25.407. Leader was 25.82. So that's a second and a half better. So you see guys like Adam on lap himself, Robert Nesta, maybe the next in line, then Mike Sheffield, who's back there running in the 1 truck. He currently runs in the 6th spot. Craig Burns, Richard Gonzalez, Chad Biesinger, and now David Edwards into the top 10. David back there in the 15. He currently 2 laps down in the Jack Daniels machine. We are approaching halfway very quickly. 70 laps going on the board. 71 this time buys a 4 truck to start finish line. So 3 laps from halfway. I think the predictions may be on the money. I think these 3 trucks may make it right to halfway. They should make this on 1 stop. And now you got to think, if you're a guy like GT, I guess the thing you got to do now is not mess up the pit stop. We've seen guys throw them away under green before. This pit stop, I mean, it's essentially, this one's going to be the money. Now, with the lead he's got, almost 17, he's almost going to feel lapped. You got to think he could probably be a little tad bit conservative getting on the pit road. One would think.
He's definitely going to be conservative. I think if I were him, what I would try and do is I would run as long as I could. I mean, you have to make it to halfway, but if you can go 5 laps over, that's sort of the money spot right there. That'll make sure you're safe. But right now, he's coming down pit road, so my strategy goes out the window. He made it to halfway, and now he's pitting. He knows he can make it to the end.
Yep, on lap 73 complete, GT Arizari comes onto the pit lane, and we will wait and see if the likes of Kevin Gladrich will follow suit in the 9, which he peels on off and does. And I even believe Keith Bradley may have come 1 lap sooner as the 92 is in his stall. So the top 3, all at halfway, have all come to the pit lane, and I believe this may hand the lead over to Adam Leidy's number 46, as I believe he was the first one leading that group. And it is. He's got 9.5 seconds between himself and Michael Sheffield. So I believe as we complete the official halfway mark, 174 laps in a 147, give Adam Leidy the halfway bonus if we could. He will lead here at the next lap and wait for these guys to come out of pit road as GT's got his 4-tire work done. Gladrich did as well, and also the 92 of Keith Bradley. So everybody has come in. I think those 3 are shoo-ins to make it. The guys I'm not so certain about are the top 2, Adam Leidy and Michael Sheffield. I don't feel so good about their chance to go all the way the distance from here.
No, they're going to have to make at least 1 more pit stop. And that strategy call that they made to sort of split the race up into 3 parts, make 2 pit stops, that's really going to cost them in the end here. And like I mentioned before, it's not about where you start, it's all about where you finish. So even though Adam Leidy's leading some laps right here, no one's going to remember that. They're all going to remember who's dominating the race and comes out the winner, should Irizarry come out the winner here. I think that strategy call really was the wrong one for these guys. They're going to have to do a lot of work or hope for a caution, figure some way out to get back on cycle with these leaders.
I want the 4 truck set. Last time by, the race leader Adam Leidy, 25.617 lap time. And he's coming out of the pit lane already. GT Irizarry, last time by the line, 23.661. That's screaming. That's bordering his qualifying speed. New tires, that truck still looked up, and I think you look around and I don't see the 9 truck anywhere in sight. I don't see the 92 in sight. When this thing cycles on back through, old GT may have this field lapped.
It's entirely possible that he will. Must be running something from a Coney setup shop.
Could be. You never know. That's how you go fast. You know how you got to go fast when you're in iRacing? You got to head to iRacingIFlag.com. You need to get an upper hand over the competition now. You need one of the iFlags. You need one of the pit boards. You need whatever you may need. Check out our buddy Jeff Brown's website, iRacingIFlag.com. Jack's got an iFlag. They're great.
I've got one.
You got one. They're awesome stuff.
They're the
Jeff
best.
Brown for all he does for us. And said, you don't have an iFlag, well, you're probably down about 2 or 3/10 of a second. So not only do you get a setup from Jeff McConey, you get an iFlag from Jeff Brown at iRacing iFlag. You may go out there and whip some tail like these guys are doing tonight. 80 laps complete here in Rockingham. We're past the halfway point. We'll take a quick break, take a sip of the beverage, get everything reset, and we'll check back in here live on your source for esports racing. All right, there we go. Look at iRacing iFlag. Got to give Jeff some love. There you go. Commercial spot to break up some of the action here. We've already put 85 laps in the books. All green flags so far, and Michael Sheffield Graphics' own, leads the way with car number 1, the proprietor, the owner here. Adrenaline Rush Racing League we're going to have here every Monday night. You can also come be a part of this great series. Look that up inside of iRacing. The only requisite they have is to be a clean driver, be able to hold the line, be respectful, and you can come be a part of the racing here every Monday night. Check out the Adrenaline Rush Racing League now in iRacing. Also available on Facebook page, small page, hoping to grow that community. I think we're seeing here these first 2 weeks. They're going to really crown a great product, very clean, respectful, and that's what we like to see. And it's good to see one of our own, Mr. Sheffield, out here leading the way with the number 1 truck. GT Irizarry back there in second, 3.3 seconds off. He is coming in a big head of steam. A 24.19 last time by for the 4 truck, 25.43 for the number 1 who leads the way. So GT is coming with a head of steam at about 1.3 seconds a lap. I'm going to guess, Jeff, if my math is right, in about 2 laps, we may see a race for the lead.
That math adds up to me, and Sheffield is going to have to pit as well.
Oh, for sure. Definitely going to have to. He was in that early group that came in. I can't imagine he is going to make it from here. So that thing's starting to fall off a little bit, and he exits turn number 3 and 4. And you look out behind him, and there's a lap truck in the way. I believe there's another truck in between them. Get my mouse pointer to show me. Is Ryan Ezel, number 88, and I believe GT will be the next in line in that bush light, number 4. He rides in that second spot. He'll look to the low side of Ezel over in turn number 3, and he has knocked the race interval down to 1.1 seconds, and it's only academic. The 4 truck is probably going to run down the 1 truck. It's the truck lengths. We hit the start finish line. We complete lap number 90, so 90 laps in. And is this the lap what we have a change for the race lead? I think the answer maybe yes. It's down to a truck length, down to 1, down to half, and now into turn number 3. He dives in low. Door, quarter, clear. GT Irizarry, the race lead. Sorry, Jeff, I stole your bid.
I have a bid? What?
Door, quarter, clear.
Well, I stole that from Dale Jr.'s spot at TJ Majors.
All right, so I stole it from TJ. That's all right. TJ was a good dude. Certainly is, and still is. Don't really like the guy he spots for now, but leave that alone. That could get really ugly. But nonetheless, the race leader back once again. GT Irizarry reclaims his spot on the top of the mantle. Mike Sheffield now back to second. Kevin Gladserich, he's back there in third. 20.747 seconds off the race leader. He's within 3 to 4 seconds from going down a lap. That's lapping up to third. Chad Biesinger also sitting on the edge of the lead lap, the number 23 truck. 22.84 off the pace. I mean, he's within like fingernails of just holding himself onto the lead lap. GT Irizarry maybe inches away from putting the top 4 trucks, down a lap.
Absolutely phenomenal run. I mean, there's really nothing else to say except Irizarry is absolutely dominant. Led over 70 laps so far. He's already got it locked down for over half the race led. He's got the most laps led. But only 1 lap counts. Only 1 lap matters the most. That's the last lap. If you can't leave that last lap, it's all for naught.
Exactly right. And we're getting close to that 50 lap to go mark. 95 going on, complete as a 4 truck off of turn number 4. Mickey is right around some little lap traffic up ahead. Chad Biesinger holding on to the lead lap for about, till about now as he slides up the hill. GT goes around, so the 4th place truck now officially a lap down. I believe the 46 of Adam Lighty, who was 5th. He's also fallen off the lead lap as well once again, so. Oh no, he's in front of him. He's unlapped himself. So Adam's good. So we still have 4 trucks in the lead lap. It just kind of changed. So we saw the 46 come in for fresher tires. Well, he's made his way around back on the leader, but he's have to run him down 1 full lap in about 50 laps. Not impossible, but wow, that's gonna be that will be a big challenge. I'm not sure that's even doable.
I've seen many crazy things, but I think whoever can beat Irizarry is going to be the craziest thing to see of all, because he is just on rails right now. He's just unstoppable, it seems. He's probably going to lap the field. More than likely going to lap this entire field.
It's going to get really close because I think Sheffield still has to come to the pits, and Mike runs in second, and now has fallen down to 5.6 off the race lead. So GT opening it up. Kevin back here in third, 21.334 behind. Now 21.482 is the 9 truck continues to lose time to the race leader. And look back now, Adam Legg is in the lead lap, and he's got GT right behind him, but he's starting to pull away a little bit. So Adam may be safe for a little while, and I think he's good. I think he's going to be good on the strategy, so I think he's good to be where he is. So potentially a top 3 run coming to 46, but now Chad Biesinger 1 lap down in 5th. Robert Nestor, Craig Burns, David Edwards, he's 8th. He's 2 laps down. Keith Bradley, he's also 2 laps down, 92 running in 9th, and Ryan Ezel, the 88 truck, he runs 10th. Ryan is 4 laps down, as is Richard Gonzalez. Matt Oprick running in 12th, and then Wade Fields, the 3 truck, he's out there still making laps. Not a bad thing to do with the 3, but Wade out there 13th, 9 laps off the lead of the leader. So cool to see the old vibe, the rainbow, old all-star looking throwback scheme from years ago, the 3 truck for Matt Wade Fields. It's really cool. I like that scheme a lot. Cool to see as I'm kind of going on back through, checking out some of these schemes. A lot of the same as last week. Only one I really see different was the one out here tonight. So good vibe, good night, good racing so far, and now 100 laps in the books. 47, 46 left remaining as our leaders shuffle their way out of turn number 4. Watching down to the pit lane, watching when the 1 truck may make that next stop, because we know that's eventually going to happen. And watching GT Irizarry just can kind of wallop them here live at the Rockingham Speedway. Thank you for watching here tonight live the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're going to take a brief pause. We'll give a shout out to our buddy Charlie Milner over at Milner Media and Design. Yeah, we come back live and just in time to see our first yellow flag of the season. Yellow, yellow, yellow on the speedway for the first time tonight. As we put lap number 110, debris yellow. Somebody threw a water bottle out.
A selfie? Could it be a selfie?
Wow. We got a late yellow here now with 110 laps on the board. Even the guys in the race were chatting. He said it figures. They went to commercial, they come back, and the yellow comes out. Imagine that. The beauty of TV. You never know. But what this has done, this is going to change the complexion of this entire race. Kevin Gladrisich had just fallen a lap down in the number 9. He will run 4th. And I got to imagine he is probably going to get the lucky dog if we do one here with this lead. And we have the leader on pit road. GT Irizarry is in. Mike Sheffield going to, of course, dive in, I believe, in the 1 truck. Yeah, he'll turn. Yeah, here he goes. Adam Lighty going to follow suit with him. So the 3 drivers on the lead lap, they're all going to duck to the pit lane. If I'm out there, any of these 13 trucks, I'm coming on the pit lane now. It's Rockingham. I want fresh rubber.
You're absolutely right. You have to pit here. You really don't have a choice. Now you're sort of, you're a lap down. You're hoping for another caution, but man, I don't think we're going to be seeing anything like that.
Oh, wow, that's just completely nuts. Believe it, debris yellow, 110 laps in tonight here at Rockingham. Unforeseen stuff. The first yellow flag of the season. Unfathomable. We'll pause under the yellow. They will come in. They'll get tires. Should be a quickie yellow. When it comes time to green, we'll break back in. We'll call the restart here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. All right, the lights are out, and we are 116 laps going to be complete. 147 the distance, and how the complexion of this race has changed with now 4 trucks on the lead lap. We have GT Arizari, Michael Sheffield, Adam Lighty, and I believe it's going to be Kevin Gladrisich going to run fourth. I believe he got the wave around. Yes, he did. Chad Biesinger, Keith Bradley, David Edwards, Craig Burns, Robert Nestor, Brian Ezel.
Green flag.
Top 10. Yep, there goes my eardrums blasting again. Green flag out in the air. Jeff, you're being exposed to our new green flag call for the first time. Did your eardrums just touch?
I like it. I gotta say, I'm a fan.
Like it too. The first time you did it to me, I had no warning, and I was shook for literally 20 minutes. My eardrums completely rattled. It was crazy. But
did you just say you were shook?
I was shook. I was visibly shook.
How old are you, Phil? You can't be using these. You can't be using these cool kid slang words anymore. You're embarrassing me.
Dude, I'll yeet you out the house anytime, right?
You'll yeet me out the house? My goodness. Wait,
play with me.
Are you gonna dab? First time I see you? Next time I see you, you're just gonna dab on me?
No, but I'll floss.
For the love of God, please do not floss. I will never call a race with you again. If you ever floss in my general direction, I swear it. And if you think I'm kidding, try it.
Well. So.
Phil was removed from the team speak.
I said I'm not on TikTok, but I just joined the Instagram and Snapchat movement, so
still kind of getting used to it.
I am now on Snapchat. Yes, I am.
Wow. Are you following at Stafford Speedway on Snapchat?
I do not have a Stafford Speedway on Snapchat. I will have. I've got basically my kids on Snapchat, and I gotta probably get a few more, but still figuring that thing out. I tried Google Hangouts too. You want to talk about confused? Phew. Nope. I'll get off the technology train about there.
Google Hangouts? Are you in 2006? Phil, the Red Sox are going to win the World Series next year.
With any luck, they're going to win it in 2020 if somebody can pitch the ball. But we'll complain about baseball the next couple of days because I am itching. Actually, for my beloved Red Sox, we start our first summer camp exhibition tomorrow. So against the currently homeless Blue Jays. So we'll definitely be in baseball mode tomorrow. And if I get a little bit lighter the next few weeks and months, you'll kind of know why. Because I'm a baseball guy. Eat, breathe, and dig it. So welcome to get back to my life in a big way this week. So let's return to our attention back to the Speedway. What do you say? 123 laps going complete this time. GT Arizari leads, but now a new second place contender has emerged. The number 46, Adam Lighty, is there. 1.8 seconds off the pace of GT, who leads the way. Michael Sheffield running in third. And Kevin Gladrisich, who got the lucky dog, is running in fourth, but I was expecting more out of the 9. He runs back there in fourth and not really pushing the one truck at all. So I thought coming in tonight, Kevin may be a contender to win. GT's just warm out. I mean, he's been the dominant truck you hear in a way. I saw he was out there on the YouTube channel a while ago. Yes, I pulled up YouTube tonight as well. And gotta say hey to Dave Regal. He tuned in tonight from East Norrington, Pennsylvania, cheering on the 11 of Robert Nestor, who was out there running. And I believe the aliens took him and dropped him out of the server. Robert was in the top 10. Now runs 12 laps down. I don't think he's even got back to the track yet. He's currently scored 12th. And he's trying to, it says he's reconnected. So he may resurface, who knows. But Gomer took the 11. And there he is. He resurfaces back to double mint truck, double take. He's back to running. And Dave, thanks for tuning over there on YouTube here tonight. So I don't get to monitor YouTube nearly enough, but did post our scheduled events for the week out there early, so maybe generate some more interest over there. So welcome aboard. Hope you're enjoying the show, and we're enjoying it too as we now put 20 laps remaining in this one. And GT Arizari leads. Now I gotta think, conserving stuff is gone. You came in under yellow, you pitted, you put 4 tires on. It's just time to let her eat. And in GT's sake, don't screw it up and hit the wall. You've been dominant all night long. Just keep the defenders on it, and I think we'll more than likely be talking into the winner's circle, barring anything unforeseen.
It's racing, though. Crazy things can certainly happen in the last 20 laps or so. There have been some wild times. Anything can happen, and like I said, you don't need to lead every lap. You only need to lead one. That's the last one. Let's see if anyone's got anything for reserve here. But that's going to be really tough to come up with.
Is that how this works? You need to lead the last one? Because I led one a few weeks ago, and I'm like, I'm leading. Do I win? Do I get a trophy? And they said, nope, you got 50 laps left. It doesn't pay nothing. So, I guess they only celebrate the one who leads the very last lap. I thought leading a lap for myself was an accomplishment.
Well, you can lead a whole lot more laps over with the driver coach and put in the 20 setup shop. But oh, everyone was pitting. Is that why you led, Bill?
How about everybody pitted under green, and I was the last one. And I rolled across, and I led a lap as I was coming in to make my own stop. So it happened. Blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again. I can't say I fared the same at New Hampshire this past weekend. I was completely dead. 20. I was just kind of going to make mention of that. As I found the one truck, and I look up ahead of him and Adam are starting to come together. Two really nice trucks. They're flying the FERN colors on that one. They run second and third, and it's 2 car lengths. They look back there now. It's 3.6 seconds off the race lead. We're racing for a point since race 2. Are these two going to get after it race too hard, knowing it's a max points night, knowing that they're not going to catch the 4?
It's pretty heartbreaking when you're sort of watching the guy ahead of you pull away, and your mindset just becomes, well, maybe I can come home second, maybe I can come home third. But it's extremely frustrating when you're just watching the leader pull away and you know there's nothing you can do because he's just that much quicker.
Call that heartbreaking?
I do. I don't like to lose. I hate losing more than I like winning.
The only time I see the leader ever pulling away from me is once they lap me and they just continue to drive away. It's a true story. So, and I love hearing guys like you talk about you get upset when the leader passes you. I know a lot of racers who just hate to run second. I'm a fan of that. And that's why I root for guys like Kyle Busch who just hate to lose at all. You know, I love that mentality of if I'm not first, I'm last.
You root for Kyle Busch?
Oh, you're absolutely right. And I will say this on the record right now. Right? In the racing world, right now, if in America, on ovals, as we're racing for second, if your name is not Kyle, you're no good. You're no good. And you know the other Kyle I'm talking about. He's killing him on the dirt right now. Your name's not Kyle, you're not the top of your game. Those two are by far not making too much trouble. On ovals in America. I'll put my money on that all day. Coney has lost some respect for me.
You've left the professional announcer speechless, without words. That's impressive. I will say that is impressive.
I just don't,
my job is to talk, and right now I'm unable to do it because this whole thing.
Good. So Jeff has been triggered. I have triggered Jeff to speechless. And not many folks can make Jeff McConey silent, but hey, that's why I'm the best. So I'm here all the time. I'm here every night if we gotta be. So having a good time. As we now put, what we got? 10 laps remaining. 137 went down last time around, working 138 in GT Aries advantage now 4.2 seconds over Michael Sheffield, who now runs in second. Adam Lighty back there in third. Kevin Gladys sits the last of the 4 trucks in the lead lap, trailing by 6.355 seconds. Said, I believe this kind's academic from here. I don't think there's a race going to go on for the lead. I think Michael has claimed second, and it looks like his truck is clearly better than the 2 behind him. I think our position battles on the lead lap may have just finished off. I mean, we may get a race for third between Adam and Kevin, but there's still 2 seconds between them, so not impossible. But I don't know, if Jeff can recompose himself, what do you got to bring back to the conversation? Did you kind of put yourself together after all that?
Kinda, sorta.
It's almost like I stole his favorite toy. It really, really is.
I didn't think you were the kind of guy to root for Kyle Busch. I thought you were better than that.
I just don't like to lose.
I get that, but there is a difference between self-confident and arrogant, and the way he acts, the way he treats fans, the way he acts, I am not a fan of. I've had interactions with him in the past that have been less than favorable. As back when that was back when I was just a fan of the sport, and that has left a permanent stain in my book on him after he completely blew me off when I was a fan. After just having a 15-minute conversation with Jeff Gordon outside of his hauler when I was 12 years old, to be completely brushed off by Kyle Busch, and still 10 years later, I remember that and I still hold that against him. He has to treat fans better.
I like heels. I do. I root for the bad guy. It's kind of what it is. I like him. I like a guy like Harvick who jumps out of his stuff too and complains finishing third.
Oh, I love Harvick. He's good.
I dig that stuff. I dig guys who just hate getting beat. And I don't like getting beat either. I don't like having lesser views. I don't like when Todd and I go head to head and he kicks my butt in viewership. I don't like it. Jack and I are the A team. You come out here and it just is money. No crew that does it better than I think we do. But either way, running down our laps here, working now lap 144. GT Irizarry leads the way. 4.069 last time by over that number one of Michael Sheffield. Michael back. He's got 2.5 seconds between himself and Adam Lighty. Adams pulled 4 seconds on Kevin Gladricic. Chad Biesinger, a guy who finished on the podium here last week at Homestead, looks like he is poised to walk away tonight with a top 5 finish here in Rockingham. I'll tell you what, a top 5 on a racetrack like this on a night where it's basically been all green flag racing, top 5's not a bad way to end the night.
No, it's not. After really only one caution to have a solid run when Irizarry's just been so dominant, to come out of this with a top 5, that's a darn good night.
I had $1 for every time that I've been whooped by that number 4 truck when I raced him years ago in NR 2003. A guy who just knows how to drive, knows how to get it done, always smooth. We shared a number for a long time, so I always had to drive like an 04. And we get the white flag in the air. Looks like a 4 may go to victory lane on the network here tonight. Maybe I need to go back to driving a 4 truck. Maybe I'll go fast once again. But in turn number 3 and 4, for the final time this evening, he's been dominant all evening long. It's going to be GT Irizarry picking up the win here tonight at the Rock as he pulls the 4 truck down on the checkered flag. He'll take down the win. Give Michael Sheffield a second place finish. Adam Lighty going to finish up 3rd. Kevin Gladricic 4th, and Chad Biesinger are going to get a top 5. David Edwards going to finish up 6th. He was 2 laps down with Keith Bradley 7th. Ryan Ezel 8th. Richard Gonzalez 9th, and Robert Nestor grabbing a top 10 with Matt Oprick, Craig Burns, and Wade Fields rounding out our 13 trucks here tonight. It was a great race, and you can't say anything more. GT Irizarry, the class of the field, and I don't know. If there's a butt kicking you can get, that's the butt kicking you want to give. That 4 truck was flawless.
Couldn't have been any better. Led almost every lap. The only laps he didn't lead were on a pit cycle, and man, he was just absolutely dominant. Absolutely dominant class of the field. Nobody could possibly race that race any better than him. That was amazing. And Carson, victory lane.
Certainly does. And thank you to Jeff McConey for being a part of the show here tonight. As we'll pop over to the Adrenaline Rush Racing League Discord. We'll talk to our top 3 next. Stay with us. We'll be right back. right, we are back here live on the post-race show, the Full Velocity Racing Network, presented by BladeNode.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds, web hosting, DPS servers, dedicated servers, they do it all. Check them out today at BladeNode.com. GT Irizarry, the big winner for the Adrenaline Rush Racing League here tonight over Michael Sheffield, and our third place finisher, the number 46, our buddy Adam Lighty, back on the podium, and I believe he is down there trackside with our buddy Jeff Bocconi.
Adam, it's Jeff. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, you're coming off a really great run here. I believe you were leading some laps at one point, but what was going through your mind when you saw everyone else pitting and you knew you had to stay out and play the strategy game and try and run down that Irizarry machine?
Yeah, I was just going to run my race, and that was all. I had nothing for them guys, so it was either do something totally different and get lucky, or just get my doors blowed in.
Absolutely. And when you're running 147 laps here at Rockingham, that's not a short race. That's a long time out there on the track. And with only one caution to break it up, what are you doing to sort of stay mentally there over those long, 70, 80, 90 lap runs that you had to go through tonight?
I mean, I got a bottle of water here, and I drink a little water and drive and watch the laps tick away. And I just try to go every lap as fast as I can possibly go,
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. And you came home third here tonight. Who do you have to thank for it?
Big shout out to you guys for broadcasting it, and the guys that put it all together. A lot of work to put one of these things on, and big shout out to them, and that's about it.
Well, we thank you for your nice words there, but congratulations on a great run out there in that 46, and best of luck to you next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he is, Adam Lighty, tonight's third place finisher here. Gives Jeff a brief second to do the curly shuffle. He'll make his way down to that fireball truck. That makes me thirsty. I may come down there to see Michael after. Michael Sheffield down there trackside with Mr. Bocconi.
Well, Mike, you got a copy?
I got you.
Were you sipping on any Fireball throughout the course of this race here?
No, I wasn't. Actually, I heard Phil's broadcast last week, so I did the Fireball truck for him this week.
Well, Phil, you got your wish. Asked and now shalt received. So, Mike, we were talking out there to Adam, and he had said throughout the course of that run, he was just sort of watching the laps click away and pushing it as hard as he could every lap. Is that what you were doing too, just pushing the truck, or were you trying to take care of your equipment?
The very beginning, I ran a lot of practice laps here, and I knew it was going to be about tire management. It was going to be a big strategy here. In the first run, I tried to maintain a consistent lap time, and I made my way back up to the field and got up and just couldn't catch GT. GT was on rails tonight.
Certainly seemed like it was on rails. You were out there having a great run. What was your plan for the pit strategy there and hoping that it would all play out? Did that sort of fall into your hands, or were you hoping that there would be another caution earlier on?
I wasn't planning on a caution. I was planning on taking a pit, in a few more laps past that caution, try to get, a little bit of a gap there and hopefully maintain, because he was just so fast tonight. I'm not complaining. That's the first caution we had in the two races, so that's good.
Certainly was good. And who do you have to thank here for getting you to a second place finish here tonight?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank my teammates over slide jobs. Unfortunately, Curtis Preston hadn't been able to be here, but David Edwards and Matt Oprick. And then, of course, you guys here for putting this broadcast on. Y'all always do awesome work.
Well, we appreciate it. Congratulations on a second place run here tonight, and hopefully you'll have just as good luck next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there he is, folks. Sheffield Graphics Zone and the Adrenaline Rush Racing League owner, Mr. Michael Sheffield, a great dude, and good to see him on the podium here tonight live in Rockingham as we work our way down. We are down here in BladeNode.com Victory Lane with our old buddy, Mr. GT Irizarry, back in the winner's circle. And GT, I got to ask you, this truck, this track, this set, absolutely freaking flawless. Great job, dude. How you feeling after this? Are you sweating at all?
Man, I tell you what, Phil, I know you like seeing this number 4 up there, and I mean this Bush Light, as of for right now, Chevy Silverado will actually be switching manufacturers. Next week you'll be seeing it in F-150. Um, it was, as you know, DW would say. I mean, it was a little hot rod, man. That sucker was rolling, bro.
Well, the sucker was rolling all right. You about had the whole. I think if that thing stayed green, you may have lapped the entire field. Like I said, you were on a rail here tonight. 147 laps at Rockingham. It's not the easiest joint to get around, but going back years and years racing with you, you've always had a knack for a track like this, have you not?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things, you know. It's almost like a Darlington track. You got to race the track and not worry about the other people. And I actually had a, you know, it was hard to do that, especially when Sheffield ended up pitting early. You know, I was watching that, and then so I stuck to my game. I said, well, you know, we're going to make this a one pit stop race. You know, if it stays green. So you know, we just stuck to the plan, and you know how it is, man. You come out and I'm like, God, he is so far up there. So I started driving the hell out the truck trying to catch him, and I had to keep telling myself, you know, hey, you know, he's got to pit again. You know, you're really not racing him; you're racing the guy that's behind you. But you know, I kept pushing on that second run, and once I caught him and passed him, I really had to kind of tone myself down and just you know chill out. I was like, man, I'm gonna burn the stuff up. So um, you know, it was fun, man. It's always fun. When you got a truck or a car that can handle like that, you know, and you can put it anywhere you want to. I mean, shoot, who would complain? You know,
Nobody. Nobody. What was going to run out first, the tires or the fuel?
tires were certainly giving up. But I learned a little something about this track, and it was you know not to give out all the tricks of the trade here, but you know it's all about lifting early. You know, I just found me a visual site where I was lifting off of the gas, even on fresh tires, pretty much, and I just lift almost at that same spot, and you know just kind of keep it, you know, hugging that white line. You know, once the tires started wearing a little bit, you know, I started skirting it up a little bit in 1 and 2 just to try and get a little bit straighter shot coming off and get a good run, but you know, outside of that, man, I mean, hey, you know, I appreciate, you know, Michael putting this on with Adrenaline Rush Racing. I mean, it's been some good fields. We've had some good racing, and to have one yellow in 2 races, and even though you know the fields aren't exactly huge, but you know, you know just as well as I do over the years of racing. I mean, just because you got a large field doesn't mean you're going to have a fun, good race. You know,
No.
so I'm cool with it, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you know Full Velocity being out here as well, man. I really do.
All right, buddy. Well, it's good to talk to you once again there, buddy. Congratulations. A big win, maybe 2 in a row next week at Charlotte. Go get it, buddy. We're rooting for you. Good to talk to you as always, buddy. Congratulations.
So, man, and hey, appreciate you keep rooting on that number 4, brother.
You got it, buddy. There you go. GP Arizari, tonight's big winner here in Rockingham. I don't know a better way to say it there, Jeff. That truck was an absolute dream. He was on a rail and he dominated. And it's always good to see the truck that dominates when one of these races. You feel bad when you lead all night long and you throw it away at the end. We used to do that quite a bit.
You're absolutely right, but no, he did not throw it away at all. He did a fantastic job throughout the entire race. He certainly earned that win, lapping the field almost at one point. He did everything right. He did everything he needed to do. He had the right strategy. He had everything planned out. There was a caution in the middle. If it weren't for that, he certainly would have lapped the field and had this race won easily. He just ran the race perfectly, did everything he needed to do.
Yeah, absolutely did. A lot of fun. So one yellow through 2 races. I don't think anybody could have asked or dreamed for better. So hats off to all these drivers for putting on one heck of a race. And that's going to do it for us here tonight at Rockingham. But don't go anywhere. Tomorrow night, a big doubleheader for the network. I will be at Knoxville tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be in the Dirt Street Stocks with a group of the Underworld Racing League. New to us, we're going to have a 3-race deal with them, 1 race a month the next couple of months. So going to have a good time there. Street Stocks in Knoxville. And, of course, Tuesday night, the FBRN Modified Series on the Dirt. I think they go to Lima Land this week. I'm going to double check that. I think I saw Lima Land on the schedule. So either way, we'll be there tomorrow night live. Thanks to Jeff McConey. Thanks to Jack Chewin. Thanks to all of you for playing along. We'll see you back here live tomorrow night on the Full Velocity Racing Network.